Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I need to catch my breath from all the setting up that I just did to film this video. Anyways, if you're new to my channel, my name is Chima, and shout out to returning subscribers. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so it's November, and since last month I've been trying to bring myself to film this video, but I haven't been able to. A lot has been going on, and if you are Nigerian, you would understand that October was the month that we didn't see coming. Yeah, COVID came and we took all that in, found a way around it, and then October came and all the things that happened, we didn't see it coming. So if you do not know what has been happening or what happened in Nigeria in October, then I think you should just use Google and Google the hashtag end SARS or end SARS protest. Yeah, I don't want to go into details since I just want to touch different things in this video. So these SARS guys, I haven't particularly had any experience with them. You know, I have had experiences with Nigerian police just stopping you to, I don't know, ask for bribe, delay you, all of that. But the SARS guys, no. But I know how much Nigerian youths dread the name SARS. Yeah. So I saw a post from a friend of mine who is physically challenged as well, and he tweeted about his own experience with these SARS guys, and I'm like, wait, are you serious? Because I was shocked. For the end SARS protest, it was that period when, you know, a lot of people, a lot of youths felt so proud to be Nigerian, myself inclusive, and it was like democracy of some sort, you know, Nigerian youths coming together to make things happen, taking care of a lot of things for ourselves, by ourselves, from Medicare to legal aid to security, sanitation, a whole lot of things. I was so proud, to be honest. I was even prouder when I saw physically challenged people take to the streets. Deep down within me, I wanted to be on the streets, but you know, it couldn't happen, so I just had to stay in my house and protest online. So I was prouder when I, you know, saw physically challenged people, especially amputees who had lost their one of their legs to these SARS guys, and you know, their brutality and all. And so as time went by with the protests, you know, more and more stories were being told. People were sharing their experiences, you know, that they've had with these guys, and some pictures were being shared as well of dead people, missing people, you know. And at some point I told someone, see, I can't seem to get these images out of my head. Like, I couldn't believe that human beings could do that, you know. But then I kept on, you know, doing what I was doing online, you know, tweeting and retweeting and all. During the period of the Festival of Lights, where we, you know, remember those who had lost their lives to SARS and their brutality, the stories that were being told, you know, it was like they gingered us to keep going, to keep fighting, like we could do this, and we kept on doing it, notwithstanding the, I don't know, the stones that were being thrown at us from every side, you know, to make sure that it didn't work. At some point I started to feel like, oh, I need to take a break. Everything I was seeing and reading and hearing, it was becoming draining. You know, I remember one time, I think my parents came and they're like, oh, what's going on? What's the latest? What's been happening so far? And I'm like, no, I'm not there anymore. And they're like, why? I'm like, it's draining. You know, I was in between trying to be aware of what was going on in the country with the protests and, you know, keeping my mental health in check. But then I took a break, you know, from the whole of social media. I, you know, just resorted to watching movies, resting, and then, you know, after a while I got back to it. to continue doing all of that. And so then came the 20th of October 2020, the day a lot of us would never forget. You know, I was I was online that night watching DJ Sweet's live video on Instagram, and I was with my hand in my I was with my phone in my hand, and I was just watching like this. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god! I couldn't believe what I was seeing, the stories I was hearing about the shootings and everything. It was like I was helpless. I was hearing of people crying, people dying, and all of that. After the Lekki shootings and killings, it was like the country had, been turned upside down with the lootings and what have you. It was beginning to look like, oh, a war is coming or something. That period had me imagining worst case scenarios in my head. You know, I imagined it to myself. I didn't even tell anyone about it. Yeah, I didn't, discuss it with anyone. I was just thinking about, the times when my parents used to tell me stories about the war and how people were running for their lives and what have you. And that period, I sat to think about, people like me who live with disability and elderly people, what could happen if worst comes to worst. Yeah, I started imagining how 60, 50, 70 years ago, how people living with disability, how they used to live their lives, when everywhere was in chaos. Because I'm sure there were no wheelchairs so much in Nigeria then. So some days later, I was with my sister, we're talking about the whole thing. By then, everything was beginning to calm down in the country. And, my sister, I told her that, see, I was imagining worst case scenario. And she's like, me too. I was doing the same thing. I was just thinking of, if we hear that something is happening and we have to run for our lives. She told me the only thing I'm going to take is my phone, put me on my wheelchair, and we zoom off. She was telling my mom that she knew that if it ever came to that Chima would say something like, you guys just go, I don't want to slow you down or something. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something I would have said, And then my sister told me about a man, an elderly man, he's elderly, and he said that he also thought about this, and he's like, if anything should break out, he's not gonna run, because he was like, where exactly am I running to, or how do I want to start running? That period, my prayer point changed, because when the protest started and everybody was gingered and excited, a lot of us were praying for something good to come out of the protest and everything. But at that point where everything looked like it was turning upside down, my prayer point changed. I was just like, God, let your will be done, because it was crazy. It was very, very crazy. After that period, man, my mental health, my head, my whole head, I can't even begin to explain it. But then I couldn't even reply messages. I couldn't come online to see what was going on. I was just there watching movies that would, probably help me come back to my real self and all. Man, it was a lot. October was a whole lot. I know all that, we had to go through. Okay, let me speak for myself. I know all that I had to go through during the COVID period. And then just when it looked like we were gradually coming out of it, things just took a different turn, and all this happened. I couldn't check up on my family. I couldn't check up on other people to know how they were doing mentally, physically, if they were okay, because I wasn't okay. So I couldn't check on people. It was with time I, gradually started coming back. But I must tell you that in all those periods, praying was difficult, to be honest. Man, sometimes it's just a line or a sentence of prayer, and you know. But hey, thank God for God, you know. Thank God that things are gradually coming back to normal, but things will not be the same like they used to be before, and especially for those who lost their loved ones, you know, and all of that. But we live to fight another day, yeah. So I'm going to share some songs that helped me out during this period, yeah. So if you don't know them, you can take your time to download them and listen. And I hope it blesses you as well. Hey, happy new month, you guys. I hope to, you know, recover more before my next video. So yeah, by then, yeah, I should be so pumped up. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.